Hey, what's up, guys? So, did a couple trades. I did all right. 574, 75, 64 tickets. Commission is a little too high. It's at 216.55, so that's about 50%. So, when that happens, it's usually over trading. For me, MU kind of got me at the open. So, at 9:39, I saw that it wasn't making a new low. It looked like it was going to try to break the high of the day at that point, which is 42.97. So I went long, added to my position on the way up. And then I exited some partially. And then when it dropped, actually, the majority of my exit was here. So I actually lost money on this position. So I saw that this was three red candles. It tried to go up, it didn't. So I went short, and then it popped up on me. So I got stopped out. Then I flipped my position, which is getting chopped up. I added to it, and then it dropped on me, so I got out again. And then when it popped up, couldn't make a new high. It was going down. I went short. It dropped, and then it popped up, and then I exited my position again. So we ended up losing on both sides of the trade. So if you look at the 5 minute. Right here, this cluster, it's sort of a Christmas tree, so not proud of that trade. So on the next one, Mink. Mink is actually the one that I took on the opening range. As you can see here, made a new 5 minute high, went long, and then I sold towards the high of the day at that time. So this is how it looks like. So I did take it a bit earlier than usual. But on the level 2 it was very strong, and then here it was just above this all these moving averages. And if you look at and then the other reason why I took the trade right at the point that I took it is because here it's EMA, it's making almost a new 15-minute high, but on the daily level, the reason why I took it at that is it sits right above the strong SMA, and it's pretty much at the low end of this daily range here. So I had to take the trade, even though it did. I kind of broke my rule a bit about not trading in the first 5 minute, but it was just so strong. So that's what I did for Mink. And then next trade, Etsy. Etsy. So Etsy, I only took it a few times. So again, opening range breakout. I took some, I think it was a pretty small position actually. I think 300 shares. On the way up, I sold. Probably in retrospect, probably should have held it a bit longer. But it was kind of chopping. This last piece I got out before it fall below the break-even mark. But if I were to hold it, that would have been a 2-point, probably more than 2-point increase there. How it looked like on the 5 minute, it formed a new 5 minute high. So basically what happened was it was chopping around a bit, tried to go up, got pushed back down, dropped, but it held this level really well, popped back up. I went just above the or just below the VWAP, and let's see if there's what was my thinking for the 15 minute new 15 minute high. So when I realized that if there are confirmation in terms of some of the longer term indicators indicating that this is going to be long, it's usually a good idea to take that position. So that's what happened. And then here, as you can see here on the range, it also was at the low end of the range during the trading day. It gapped up, might have gapped down, it might have gone down, but it was very strong the whole day. I think it had some good news, so it popped up. That's my trade for Etsy. Hertz is the other one that I did. So that's kind of a cluster. Let's see here. So Hertz, I saw that on the 15 minute. It dropped below the strong SMA, so I took the short position. And see here, I waited for it to do a pullback, couldn't hold it, it dropped. I went short. I exited, and the reason why I exited above this and didn't wait for it to drop was because this is a strong SMA. Didn't know it will break through. It did break through it, but I wasn't sure, so I exited my entire position there. So it is what it is. It didn't really capture that move there. Later on, I saw that it was making a pullback here. Did not go any lower than the previous day close. And it popped up. I thought it was gonna drop. It did not, so I got stopped out here. So I thought it was going to do a pullback and then try for low of the day again. It didn't happen until much later, so I got stopped out on that trade there. How that looked like on the 5-minute was something like this. So I went short here. So I saw that it couldn't. It tried to break this. It did, but it bounced right back up. And I thought on the second try maybe it would do that. It did not. So I basically stopped out because I know that it's been short pretty much the whole day here. So I didn't want the squeeze to happen on me. So later on I reversed that position. Kind of took a bigger size here. 5,000 shares because the stock was actually pretty cheap. It's like $20. When it popped up, I sold towards VWAP. So this is how it looks like. So didn't work, stopped out. And then I took, I think here, I took like 500 shares or something like that. It did drop, but it had a small size. And I saw that it was kind of holding this level for 2 minutes. So I kind of held it. I knew that if it breaks this level, I'll stop out. At that point, because I was down on MU, I was going to call it a day, cut my losses. But it held this level, and then as it started making higher lows here, when it got above the EMA and held the EMA at this level, I was thinking it would make a run for VWAP. So I added 5,000 shares, and as it popped, I basically exited, and then on the drop here, I completely exited. So when it couldn't hold that and it dropped, held this level, it went up a bit, and it looked like it was going to make a pullback. So I went short here. It did pop up a bit. I think I had 1,000 shares here, so it was kind of scary. Went up, and then on the drop, I added to my position. I think another 4,000 shares for 5,000 total. On the way down, I basically exited my position. In retrospect, probably exited too early here. It was sort of oscillating at this level. I didn't know if it was going to go back up. I didn't want it to run against me because I had a couple bad trades already. So I exited, but as you can see, if I held it, it actually did go back to previous day level. So, if I held it, that would have been a nice win there. So, yep. What did I do in a 15-minute that prompted that? So here's the reason why I was confident in taking some of the bigger sizes at this point. Is because I saw that, especially on that last trade, couldn't make a new 15-minute high, and the stock was short. So this kind of accounted for a lot of the pullback already. So when it couldn't make that new 15-minute high, looks like it was going to make a new 15-minute low. That's when I went short on it, because it was obviously going to break this level here. And then once it breaks it, chances are it's going to go towards their previous day close again. That's exactly what it did. Yep. So yeah, so that's my trade for the day. Overall, it went all right. If I had to do anything different, probably stop out earlier in some of my plays and not get chopped up by MU. I should have identified the chopped in MU. This is not good. MU is kind of volatile. Should should have stopped that much earlier here. Yeah. So anyway, it is what it is.